If you're going to wait to come alive and show the people something, now would definitely be the time to do so. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for RuPaul's Drag Race. This is season 13, episode 11. Like I said, we're on the 11th episode. We are getting down to where, you know, this is the touch and go time, child. So listen, if you got something else, now is the time to show it. Because we've gotten to the point where there's people here that we're feeling like, okay, I've seen all that she has to offer. And now is the time to push forward. If you got something else left in your tank, now's the time to push on with it, because you know how it goes. People are going to start falling off by the wayside, and we're at the nitpick stage. We've seen the best of you, I think, and then we at the nitpick stage, we got to see who can go into overdrive and who has a little bit of something stored up. And Rose, listen, I think I've said to you all before throughout this season, I couldn't even remember her name. I couldn't remember her name. I kept saying, what is that child? What is that child? What is that child? Rose. That bitch said, excuse me, I'm right here. I'm totally here for it. Totally here for it. Remember, even with Simone, I had told you all, child, Miss Simone's time for her to go, because I done seen all shit. Sister girl was like, James, what are you talking about? Excuse me. I'm right here. So those were the two that I was really, really impressed with. I looked around. I was like, come on with this. And then the other folks, they're phasing out. There's some folks that are phasing out. Look, we're going to talk about it. Let's go. The mini challenge was, are you smarter than the pit crew? It was a little, it was nothing really. I didn't. That's how I felt about the mini challenge. What are they even talking about? Child, the only thing that stood out to me about that old mini challenge was Miss Candy, honey, and her too little jacket. I said, where is she going with that too little jacket on? Just squeak. I noticed that a lot about Miss Candy. I said, great, she's uncomfortable. You know, she's thick and juicy like me. She's a thick girl. Great, she's uncomfortable. That little tight ass shit on. I said, ground. That little jacket. I was like, girl, that's all I remember from the mini challenge that stuck out to me as her, and that jacket. It was so tight it looked like she couldn't put her arms down. But anyway, she was the winner of the challenge. So good for you, Miss Candy. She's another one that I'm kind of at the so what phase with Candy. So what? Now the judges are saying, oh, she's so funny, she's so funny. But I'm not getting her jokes. I'm at the so what. Girl, we seen it. Okay. Hee hee ha. Hood girl, hood girl. That's okay. I mean, that's also Simone's aesthetic. But she has a little flip to it, or a little gimmick to it. But just Jenny from the block, I'm about sick of it. I'm about sick of it. It's cute. So what? 11 episodes in. So what? Anyway, moving on. So Maxi Challenge is the branding challenge. This is fun because this is where you get to be authentically you and go full out. Well, you need to go full out. But just be you. And they were creating a commercial, 45-second commercial for a soda. And you were branding it with yourself. You got to do the little jingle and everything for yourself. And right in the beginning of it, you know, of course, I'm waiting on Ru to come down and do his one-on-ones. But no, they actually had a session with Jada Essence Hall. She looks so good. Oh, my gosh. Jada looks so good. And I love this whole little wet, yeah, I done told y'all before, this wet look hair thing. I was like, girl, so sharp. Looked so pretty on her. But she did. She looked so good. And she basically told them about, you know, the importance of branding yourself and really pushing yourself out there and making yourself memorable so people remember you and who you are is very important when you get out there, because there's tons of drag queens. Tons. Tons and tons and tons. Every city you go to, there are tons of us. Okay? Tons. And they know, you know, you girls have actually made it onto the show, which is not an easy thing. You know, again, I've auditioned 4 times myself, and I mean, you understand it is what it is. They only choose, what, 12, sometimes 14 when Rue's doing something weird, girls. But do you know how many girls actually audition? There are tons and tons of drag queens that audition every year for RuPaul's Drag Race. And that's just that. So you take that, and then you just think about all the girls that are working from city to city to city. Now, you'll be going to city. What is it about you that makes people say, oh, this bitch is here, I got to go see her? Because remember, they got 50 of you in their city already, if not more. So, tons and tons of drag queens. What is it about you that makes people want to come out from home to see you? So, it's very important to brand yourself. And your brand, you don't want your brand to always be a gimmick either. It doesn't, you know, they got to fall in love with you. More so you than the gimmick. But if you can work that in and make it work to your favor, you know, all that. So this is fun. It's a fun challenge. And I think that in that challenge, a lot of people end up learning things about themselves as well. Learning where they're lacking and learning where their strengths are. Even if you thought you knew, sometimes you find out that maybe that ain't it. Maybe you need to rework this thing. And that's exactly what happened for Olivia. But anyway, well, let's go talk. Okay, so they start doing their filming of the commercial, and they were working with Ross and Carson, which I would absolutely love to do. Would absolutely love to do, because both of them are to the point. They know their shit. They're both very accomplished in what it is that they do. And I got a lot of respect for the two of them. And I love them. That Ross, child, I love me some Ross. But anyway, they know what they're doing, and they're going to lead you in. And I think they're the best people for this. Completely the best people for this part. If you can't get Rue. Because Rue is a branding genius. That bitch plays. RuPaul, can't nobody tell you about RuPaul better than RuPaul. That bitch, listen, let me tell you something, honey. She's brilliant. She really, really is. That bitch, she is going to RuPaul you to death. And you never get tired. She think of 25 different ways every year to RuPaul you to death, to where you never get tired. You can be like, oh shit, girl, come on here. Yeah. So she's genius. Anyway, moving on. So Tina's working out her commercial, and there's like, girl, this is like the same old. Just same old, you know, in her commercial. I was like, okay. Seeing that right away. Rosé, like I said, funny. She was very funny. And you remember, she's usually real guarded and kind of introverted, but she was funny. I said, this commercial is going to be funny. I can see it right now. The way she had her makeup smeared and all this kind of carrying on, I said, this is going to be funny. And it's really different for her. So I was here for that. Simone, you could tell from the beginning, perfection. Simone knows exactly who she is. She knows exactly where she's going. So much so that, listen, I found her YouTube channel, and I subscribed to her YouTube channel. Simone, child, she was miles ahead of these girls, I think, doing this anyway. She knows exactly who Simone is and what she's trying to achieve. So this was, you know, it was no issue for her to shine here. I'm wondering what had happened a few episodes back where she kind of fell off, and I was kind of getting like bored with her, like, what was she doing? I don't know what was going on with Simone them couple of weeks when I was just like, girl, I didn't see it at all. Because just popped to life. And now it's like, okay, we back on like we were in the very beginning when I was loving her. Because I just kind of got bored with her for like 2-3 episodes. And I was like, what's going on? Girl, I almost gave up on you and thought it was time for you to go home and stay. She has so much more to give. But anyway, moving on. Candy. I looked at it and I said, well, I think this, again, she's funny. So I like this. It's going to be funny, but is it the same funny that I've been seeing, or is it something new and funny? Because I need something new and funny from Candy. So I was still up there. Here, Utica. Utica was Utica. Again, same old, same old. But then she did this thing where she dropped the prop. I said, okay, wherever they work that in, I won't give a shit where they work it in. It's going to be funny, because that's what's funny about her, is that she's a goofball. So I said, that'll be funny. But again, where's it going to take you to? Because right now, you're not showing me anything. Right now, you're just working, basically. You're working. You're not showing me nothing different. Just working. Gottmik, I was just confused. And she was too. I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you saying? What are you trying to show me? What the hell do you have going on, Gottmik? I don't know. But we already know the whore's going to look good. We know when she come out, that whore's going to look good. But I don't know what the hell she's talking about or what she's doing. So that was that. I said, well, she'll clean that up. So, okay, let's go on. Now, Candy in the workroom, they're doing their thing. They're getting dressed and everything. Candy actually ended up telling the story of how she actually was bashed. She was gay bashed in high school. And she was kind of lending that to, like, her pent-up anger and kind of how she, you know, lashes out and different things like that. It all really stemmed from, she has, like, a scar and everything where she was actually gay bashed. I'm like, wow. Okay. So, yeah, that's trauma. Trauma. That's, you know. Anytime that you're fearing for your, not just your life, you know, just fearing for your safety in general, it's trauma. It's trauma. And you got to work through it, because if not, it will take over. It will take over. You'll be years and years and years down the road, and that same thing will be screwing up everything in your life. That stuff, you got to take care of it. Easier said than done. But there's help out there to be able to do it. And you need to do it. You need to do it, because it will ruin your life. Moving on. So the runway is Beast Couture. So I said, we're going to like the furry side. Like that's what this whole challenge did remind me of, like the furries and their whole community. Like it was a nod to the furry community. I was like, well, good. Because, and it's so weird, because I just had a conversation about furries on a live earlier in the week. And there were like people that are like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what what furries are. And I'm like, oh no, they're like a whole community, and they're awesome. They have their own thing going on, and you know, they're very creative and all of that. So this is what it kind of gave me. Like this was like a nod to the furry community. So the girls were coming out. Before I start talking about their costumes, can I say kudos to Rue for getting back on the horn, honey. Girl, now her look this week, yes, girl. Now that's what I'm talking about. This black lace and sequin gown, sharp. Sharp, and her hair was sharp. Thank you. Thank you, because you had me nervous, girl. But Miss Mama was looking good, honey. Okay, so let's go. Our furry outfits. Utica, it was just basically a black faux fur gown. In the middle was like a lace corseted situation, and no. And then she had like a little demon thing going. It wasn't bad, but it didn't knock me out. My hair was real long and dark. Everything was very dark and demon-like. It was okay. And I think her contacts was like the best thing. That were like all glazed over, very zombie-ish, and looked like they had phlegm in them. That was the most interesting part of the costume, and the little horns. That was the most interesting part of the costume. So, again, okay. how I seen her. She was more intricate when she did the picnic basket look. But okay. Candy, girl. They said to her flat out, girl, you look a mess. You look a mess. And I mean, it is what it is. She was like an alien and had patches of fur on the private parts. And then she had another supposed alien strapped to her back with no patches on it. But all of it was like latex. And I'm kind of getting tired of the latex look. We've seen like so much of this on here. I'm like, it's the same look. You know, the hood with the face out and the piece coming up. We've seen that like 7 different variations of that this season already. But she had this alien strapped to her back, but it was just damn sad. I said, what is that little dead, look like a little dead ass little blow up doll that wasn't blown all the way up, strapped to her back like a backpack. I said, no, ma'am. No. I'm going to tell you what she actually looked like. And them cat suits like that. Because it's like a cat suit. She was having a whole cat suit moment. Because she wore like a little cat suit in her commercial too. This animal print cat suit. And them cat suits, Candy looked like an old vacuum cleaner. Like one of them old retro vacuum cleaners. That's what she looked like. No shade, but shade, honey. She looked like an old vacuum cleaner. This one was a latex vacuum cleaner, and she looked like a retro, real retro, in that animal print vacuum cleaner. I said, girl. So we went from the Jetsons vacuum to the vacuum over at Donna Reed's house, honey. I said, girl, get out of here. A mess. A whole mess. Listen, so that was, yeah. Tina. It was all patches. Like a patchwork, very Silence of the Lambs. And they actually did. I thought of that right when I seen her. Because it looked like somebody had took skins and just patched them all together. And, I don't know that scarecrow look. That's how it was looking. Real crazy. Like it was a real crazy maniac Silence of the Lambs type of look. It was ugly though. It was ugly. It just was like, yeah, girl, you just made that up. That's not even you. This ain't where you live. You know, that ain't where she lives. She lives in recreating, you know, the little homemaker lady from 1940. That's that's her. Or the 50s. That's her. Anyway, this was weird. She looked like she was out of her comfort zone. That damn Simone. Simone broke out there as this ghetto fox, honey, with a sad pony, honey. I said, girl, yes, ma'am, honey. It was cute. It was very cute. Very, that look I could definitely see made into a cartoon character. Like a cartoon, a caricature of it and put on a t-shirt. I would buy it immediately. So if you are listening, if you ever hear this, Miss Simone, girl, I'll invoice you, girl. But yeah, that's a t-shirt for you, girl. Characterize yourself, place it on a t-shirt. Girl, I need me a check for giving you the idea. But I'll buy the shirt right away, girl. I'll advertise for you too, girl, because it would be so cute. That was very cute, very Simone, very on brand, very funny. I said, girl, it's your old ghetto fox, honey. I said, come on through here. I was funny. Gottmik, it didn't wow me. It was Gottmik. It just was another costume. Another Gottmik costume. It didn't wow me. She just had some fur sleeves. It was supposed to be some type of alien stuff with some eyes on her shoulder. It was Gottmik. It fit. I mean, it was okay. But again, it didn't wow me because it's what you do all the time. So, be careful, Gottmik. Be careful. You're not one of the ones. You are sliding over to that side of, like, I seen it already. But, girl, just be careful. Because I think she got some more. I think she got something tucked away. Be careful, Gottmik. Anyway, Olivia. Olivia was this, it was like a little monster. It wasn't bad. It was like blue. She was like blue and stuff, and it just looked kind of goofy. It just looked kind of goofy. And kind of, that's kind of Olivia, kind of airheadish kind of looking. Yeah, it did knock me out. Now, the person for me who literally turned this whole category, she, when I say tens across the board, Rosé slayed this look. It was, girl, I said, bitch. It was like this red demon, and every piece of it was perfect. The makeup, the hair, bitch, was everything. And I mean, they had it wrapped, and there was not a piece of hair out of place. I said, is it lacquered? But this red demon look, you couldn't get it. You couldn't get it. It was flawless. She looked just like she walked off of a movie set. That could have been, she could have been a character on any movie set. She could have walked in any type of cosplay type of a convention, and people would stop and be like, bitch, who's that? It was flawless. It really, really was. And I was like, that's Rosé? Completely unexpected. She threw me off. I was like, wow. I was impressed. She blew me away with that. That's the best thing that I've seen, really, I'm going to say this season. Because there's been some looks that have been something else this season. But that was amazing. It really was. I was like, wow. Wow. I was like, okay. And I don't know if it was such a wow because it was Rosé, but no, it was really good. It really was good. Like, she looked like a completely different person. That was fantastic. That really was. So let's go to the commercials. Utica's commercial, and once it was finished and they showed it, it seemed long. It was like the longest 45 seconds ever. And the only thing that was funny, like I said, was when she dropped the product and it squirted. And the can of pop squirted. That was funny. But, no ma'am. Candy, that commercial, now the judges were saying they loved it. Oh, it's so funny. Candy's commercial to me was very stiff. She looked stiff. The commercial I wasn't laughing. I was just like, okay. I was stuck on her look. She looked like a dude in that outfit. She looked like a dude. She had her hair pulled all the way back in this ponytail. And the ponytail was kind of raggedy. She had that little cat suit on, like I said, looking like old sweeper. And she looked stiff. Everything, she looked stiff, and it looked tight, and the outfit looked uncomfortable. And it just didn't do a thing for me. She looked like a stiff dude. And I was like, I ain't using that at all. That was a waste of 45 seconds for me. I didn't get it. And I was looking at the judges like, what the hell is y'all talking about? I don't get it. Anyway, Simone's was funny. It was on brand. And her little tagline, everybody got a sweet tooth. It was funny. And it was Simone. And it worked. She branded the hell out of herself. It worked. Tina's was corny and old and forced, and it didn't come across at all. It just was like, girl, that's giving me B-rated movie that don't nobody want to watch again. That won't be a cult classic. That was tired. Very tired. You in danger, girl. Anyway, moving on. Gottmik, it was corny, and it was not memorable, and it was still kind of like, whatever, girl. Olivia's was by far the worst. It was the worst of all of them. I hated it. There was no point to it. It was real dingy and goofy, and it was just a waste. It literally was a waste. It told me nothing about you. If that's what your brand is, airhead running around, back and forth, just running around, That ain't no good look, girl. I know 25 airhead drag queens in my city without even really giving it a hard thought, girl. That ain't gonna get you nothing. Anyway, moving on. Rose, her commercial was perfect too. Her and Simone, them two commercials were like awesome. And it was funny. It was real sarcastic. It was, child, somebody she said, I'm not doing that. you know, need I say more? You know, all the sarcasm, I was here for it. It's like, can you so and so? She said, no. I was like, girl, yes, ma'am. You know, I like that old kind of shit. You know, I could be sarcastic. Anyway, I loved it. So I loved hers and I loved Simone's. And guess what? So did Rue. Because she gave 2 winners, baby. They both got $5,000. They both won. And I was like, good. Because I was sitting there like, how do you choose? Because they both killed both parts. And Rue gave them both the money. I was like, I was very happy. Very happy. Because, you know, I was mad at Rue last week. So I was very happy with that. I agree, Rue. You did good. Girl, you got a cute outfit on this week. And you got it right, bitch. I liked it. It was good. Okay. In the bottom, Tina and Utica. I'm okay with it because it would have been fine if it had been Utica and Olivia or Tina and Olivia. It's them three, and they could throw Candy in too, but she didn't deserve to go down there. You know what? Yeah, she could have been thrown in. Any of them 4 whores could have got thrown down there, and I wouldn't have said a word. But it was Utica and Tina, and they did My Humps by the Black Eyed Peas. And that was another long 45 seconds. I was like, what the hell? Tina ended up getting eliminated. I was like, all right, now Utica. Now, listen, Utica, honey, let me tell you something before I leave up out of here, girl. I don't want you to be running around thinking that you know lip sync assassin, okay? Because, girl, you just made it through because she was being nice. She wasn't eliminating 2 people. She was just being nice. But, girl, y'all could have both actually went on home. Y'all could have took y'all lady lumps and went right on home, honey, got in the van and gone on about your business. Don't think that you slayed in that lip sync. Anyway, so that's it, child. Listen, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Tina, sorry, girl. Utica, girl, your day is coming. Candy and Olivia, you 2 girls are in danger. So, y'all better pull it together and pump something out or something, or you will be on the next bus going home, honey. I'm telling you, I can see it coming. Anyway, I'm out of here. I will catch y'all next week. Later.